Greetings, my name is Pete. This is Talk Gaming. In this video, we're going to talk about Panama Rose. Panama Rose is a two-player card game that simulates the brutal arena combat that takes place in the Fightdrome within the Altered Carbon universe. This game is produced by Warcradle Studios. It is designed for two players with an approximate playtime of 30 minutes. So in the box, we have the rulebook, with all the information you need as per standard rulebooks, and we have two sets of cards. So while we have a flick through the rulebook and the cards, let's talk about the rules. Within the Fightdrome, each player takes on the role of a competitor. The competitors fight out amongst themselves to determine who is superior. Players agree beforehand if they will play a single bout, where they try and be the last player holding cards, or several bouts, where the first player to reach an agreed number of fame points is declared the winner. Fame points are shown on the attack cards at the top and the bottom of the card. Block cards are worth 25 fame, and the Neurochem cards, which are the gold ones, are worth 50 fame points. The miscellaneous cards, which are the Weave and the Feint cards, are worth 0 fame points. The other thing you can use fame points for is to determine who goes first. Shuffle your cards, split the deck, reveal a card, and the card with the highest fame value goes first. There are a number of other rules within the rulebook for helping play the game and other things that the cards can do. We'll cover all the cards in a moment, and then we'll cover how to build the deck, and we'll go through a quick starter of the first couple of moves in a game. So the first three cards we're going to look at are the kick card, the punch card, and the grapple card. Each of these card types are the attack cards, and the numbers printed on them is the attack value, and it also represents the value of the fame for working out winners of combat. Cards we're going to look at are the block cards. We have a punch block and a kick block. Like the attack cards, they have a number at the top and bottom. This represents their block values, and they only block cards that are equal or lower than their value. These numbers do not correspond with any of the fame points for working out winners and losers. These are just purely for attack and block correspondence. The next card is the feint card. This card is played and tricks the opponent with a false attack, allowing the player to follow up with an attack card. So the fighter who plays this card must immediately play an attack card of any value. Next card is the Weave card. This allows the player to sidestep their opponent's incoming attack. It pauses the fight and acts like a standard block card. The next 4 cards are Neurochem Kick, Punch, Grapple, and Block. The Neurochem Punch card can be played against any punch or grapple card. It is considered an attack card. The Neurochem Kick can be played against any kick card or grapple card and is also considered an attack card. The Neurochem Grapple can be played on any attack card. It is considered an attack card. And the Neurochem Block can be played on any attack card and pauses the flight like a standard block card. The next card is your sleeve card. This is your fighter. It gives you the order of his punch, grapple, kicks, blocks, and Neurochem. The blocks and Neurochem tend to be in the same locations, but the punch, grapple, and kick, they alternate on every single one of the 6 cards for the sleeve cards. This next card is the stack card. This gives you your stats for your fighter, and they correspond with the icons for punch, kick, grapple, block, and Neurochem on your sleeve card. So the next picture after this one will show you them corresponding together. This last card is double-sided and gives you details on what cards can be used against which others. So for example, a punch card can be used against a punch and a grapple. Okay, so we've taken a look at the cards. So it's time to get on with the deck building. So I've laid all the cards out in front of us for us to have a look at, so we can see what's what. So the first thing we do is we shuffle the stack cards and the sleeve cards separately. Then we draw one of each per player, and this will determine who your fighter is and what their stats will be. What fighter you will be playing as and what your stats will be. We then get on to constructing the deck. So as you can see here, the fighters have a different layout of their abilities. So the top fighter, his first stat is kick, and he has 10. Whereas the bottom fighter, his top stat is 8, and it is a punch. So what we do first is we get the kick cards and we take 10 out for the top player. And we take 8 out, 10 out for the bottom player. The reason I shuffled them there is just so we can separate the power levels a little bit more. So a bit more random on that one. So now that's the kick cards dealt out. We'll now go on to the grapple cards. So top fighter has 8 and bottom fighter has 9. So we'll shuffle and deal those out into the deck. And that'll be the grapple cards done. To the deck there. So next up, it will be the punch cards. So top fighter will have 8 and bottom fighter will also have 8. So shuffle those up to mix up the power numbers and then deal out 8 to both of them and add them to the deck pile. Attack cards to the deck pile, then go to the block cards, the kick block and the punch block. These are not on separate stats on your character, there's only one block card. So what we do is we shuffle the two lots together, and in this case deal 8 to the top fighter and 7 to the bottom fighter. So we'll get a mixture of punch and kick block cards. Cards have been added to the deck piles. We repeat the same process with the Neurochem cards. Each fighter has 6, so we shuffle all 4 types of Neurochem cards together and deal them out 6 to each fighter. Have been added. We then add 2 weave cards and 2 feint cards to the character decks, and then each deck will have a total of 44 cards ready to fight. So give the decks a good shuffle before you play, and then we'll move on to a quick couple of turns to see how the cards are played. So here we are, ready to play. We've got the board set up with the two fighters. So the first thing we do is draw 7 cards for each player. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to be showing you and demonstrating on with an open hand on how some of the turns and card combinations work. That's the hands drawn there. So what I do next is you cut the deck and look at the fame points to determine who goes first. So the kick card has 40 and the punch card had 50. Just give the decks a bit of shuffling. And then we're ready to play. So player 1 on the left, play the first card. After I've put the cards down for the references to see what cards can be played against which other ones. So player 1 plays a low pointed punch card. Then you draw another card after you've played a card. The only time you don't draw a card is if you play a Norachem card. So player 2 plays a punch card in response that's power level 40. And then player 1 plays a punch card, power level 60 in response. So player 2 doesn't have any punch cards to combat, so they must use a block or a feint or a weave to continue playing and not become staggered. So what I've chosen to do is play a block card. So then player 2 turns it over and player 1 has to respond. So they've got a couple of options there. They can feint, they can weave. Because of the block, player has to immediately follow up with an attack card. So they've chose to throw another punch. So as you can see there, just notice that I've played a kick block card when I should have played a punch block card. So you need to be careful of the block cards because they only have the symbol in the top corner rather than the central picture being different. So player 2 is going to weave. That's just the same as a block. So we draw a card. And then wait for player 1 to respond. So the only response they can make, because we've got to play an attack card, will be the kick card. So then it's up to player 2 to respond. And going by what the cards are, it's going to have to be another feint or a weave, as none of the cards are high enough to combat the kick card. So what we do is we feint, draw a card, and because it's a feint we can follow up by an immediate action, playing another attack card. So we go in for a low 40 punch and wait for player 1 to respond. So player 1 is going to respond with a Neurochem block card. So player 2 follows up with another attack card. And then we go back to player 1 for their response. So in this case, they weave. Player 2 plays another attack card. So I played a and that's a sample of some of the turns, some of the cards that played in the sequence. So any questions, leave a comment below and check out the game.